Friends, families, welcome to the 35th Annual Tree of Life event. My name is Jack Rowan. I'm a chaplain with Partners in Home Care Hospice. We thank you for joining us to remember those we have lost in this past year and in years past, to share stories and to hold vigil together, to recognize our individual losses while embracing our continuing connections. Some of you are joining us for the first time. Some have participated for many years. All are welcome. Partners in Home Care is honored to be here with you and to be a part of your community. In the midst of the long darkness of midwinter, we gather to remember our loved ones. We gather as individuals and as a community. We gather to offer and to accept support. We gather to feel strength and recognize there is beauty and hope even in the dark. We gather to witness the persistence of light. Following the lighting of this tree of life, please join us for the candle lighting ceremony at St. Paul Lutheran Church and view the names of those we have lost yet remain with us. In a few moments, we will light this magnificent tree with a multitude of small lights. Each light is alike in some ways, yet distinct and inspiring on their own. Each light reveals outlines, vague forms, and glimpses that remind us of those who are no longer physically with us, yet remain always in our lives. Like stars in the sky, these small lights remind us of all who have gone before us and all who follow after us to continue this journey. Even in sorrow and in remembrance, we might find comfort and balance in the light and the dark, the beauty and strength of each individual light. We are also reminded of electrical wires, the strands that connect each light to the others and sustain their beauty, their strength. We all contribute to the beauty and strength. Together we endure, together we shine. And now, this tree of life belongs to all. Good evening. My name is Chaplain Jack Rowan from Partners in Home Care. We welcome you from the dark into the light, and we thank you for joining us tonight for the 35th Annual Partners in Home Care Tree of Life event. We'll begin tonight with opening reflections from Partners in Home Care Chaplain James Waddell.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us by video. For 35 years now, we've gathered on this evening to remember and celebrate those whom we've lost. All around us, we are aware of changes. We are aware of the tension of what was and what will be. The seasons change around us. The weather changes as days shorten and the temperatures drop. Leaves have fallen and revealed the bud that's already formed for next year. And so we stand tonight between the time that has been and the time that will be. And we gather together tonight aware of a series of tensions. We gather together feeling our loved ones' absence from us, and yet aware of their presence with us. We gather tonight in grief and in hope, in mourning and in celebration, in what is seen and what is unseen, in sorrow and in joy, in separation and in enduring love. Grief is a strange experience, a process of paradox, of missing and being mixed up, of transitions between what we have known and what we do not yet know. We grieve because we have loved, after all, and the sorrow we experience is tied to the joy that we hold. Because of its strangeness, grief can feel isolating and lonely. And yet tonight we gather together to reveal that we are not alone, that we are never truly alone. Though grief is a strange experience, we gather together to show that grief is also a shared experience. Grief may inhabit a strange place for us, but it is a space that we inhabit together, sharing in our grief with one another. And so, how do we share together? To treat grief as not only a strange experience, but also a shared experience. As we've done for 35 years, we craft space and we take time to be with one another. Your presence with us tonight allows us all to express our love and our gratitude, our sorrow and our joy together. This ritual for which we have gathered holds importance for us because it offers us a tangible expression, a sacred space, a shared language. Grief, after all, is the language that love speaks after a loss. Grief is how love expresses itself when the loved one is gone from our sight. And so we come together tonight to speak a common language of love, spoken through tears, through warmed hearts, through our reminiscence together. I'll now read A Blessing for Grief by John O'Donohue. When you lose someone you love, your life becomes strange. The ground beneath you gets fragile. Your thoughts make your eyes unsure, and some dead echo drags your voice down where words have no confidence. Your heart has grown heavy with loss, and though this loss has wounded others too, no one knows what has been taken from you when the silence of absence deepens. Flickers of guilt kindle regret for all that was left unsaid or undone. There are days when you wake up happy, again inside the fullness of life, until the moment breaks and you are thrown back onto the black tide of loss. Days when you have your heart back, you are able to function well, until in the middle of work or encounter, suddenly with no warning, you are ambushed by grief. It becomes hard to trust yourself. All you can depend on now is that sorrow will remain faithful to itself. More than you, it knows its way and will find the right time to pull and pull the rope of grief until that coiled hill of tears has reduced to its last drop. Gradually, you will learn acquaintance with the invisible form of your departed. And when the work of grief is done, the wound of loss will heal, and you will have learned to wean your eyes from that gap in the air and be able to enter the hearth in your soul where your loved one has awaited your return all the time. And so we will share together in our grief and hope, our sorrow and joy, our love and memory. We share together with all those viewing the video. We stand together at a shared time and in a shared space online to support each other in our grief, to give and receive love to sustain us through this process. We also share together with all those whom we have lost, who endure with us in memory and presence. We trust that though they are absent in physical presence, they remain with us in love and in our hearts. We share together across 35 years of the Tree of Life ceremony, joining in the legacy of 35 gatherings like ours. We remain conscious that we stand in a long line of those who have mourned together and who have celebrated life together. And we continue to gather in solidarity with those who are viewing, with those who have died, with those who have gathered at the Tree of Life through the years. Truly, we are a community bound by those we have lost, but affirming what we have gained is far more than what we could ever lose. May we find together a peace and a love that will endure and that will sustain us through the darkness and into the light. If you will, please join me for our responsive reading. We are here tonight to honor those we have lost and to find light for our darkness.
With lights on our tree now illuminating the dark night, we remember them.
Not because they died, but because they lived.
With lights on our tree now illuminating the dark night, we remember them.
Not only to mourn a death, but to celebrate a life.
With candles illuminating this sacred space, we remember them.
Not only to endure the monochromatic cold of winter, but to anticipate the color-filled warmth of spring and the new life it will bring.
With candles illuminating this sacred space, we remember them.
May the lights we light on this night proclaim to our community that people we love have lived, have died, but will never be forgotten.
With the lights on our tree and with the flames of love we share, we remember them.
May the lights we light tonight represent hope. We will light one another's candles as we share in the quiet of the moment, remembering those we love and welcoming the light. You are invited to visit the lighted tree in Rose Memorial Park at any time. It will remain lit every night until the first of the year. Those who have provided names will find them scrolling on screen at the end of this presentation. This video is available at any time on the Partners in Home Care website. If you have concerns or wish to talk to someone from our hospice team or bereavement team, please feel free to call. May you go in peace.